Well, hello, my friends. I want to talk about bike races for a couple of minutes. There's the Tour de France that happens every year. It's a ultra cycling event, and it's very grueling, isn't it? Well, you know, there's another race that happens every year. It starts on June 10th this year, called the Race Across America. Starts out in California. It's going to end in Atlantic City, New Jersey this year. And the participants in that race are some of the most elite athletes. You could either be on a team or you could do the race solo. Now let's talk about solo. To do those 3,000 miles, you have to complete it within 12 days. And what does that mean? It means 250 miles a day. That's quite a feat, isn't it? Now, the reason I even wanted to mention this race is because the official bicycle seat of that race is the Infinity bike seat. You know, I'm always raving about my Infinity bike seat. You know, the one that has the cutouts here for your sit bones. So while I was recovering from my broken hip, I had a lot of time to think, and I thought, you know, I'd really like to try out their latest technology. And so I did. I bought the EX1, bought it with my own money. The first thing you'll notice is it's solid, isn't it? It has the same technology as the one that I just showed you. If you look on the back of it, you can see that it has the plastic rib around the outside, but it has like a hammock type situation in the middle. So those holes that your sit bones go in, now they have a little more support. Infinity bike seat is owned by a husband and wife, Dr. Vince and his wife Diane. And Diane reached out to me, and to my surprise, she said, "We'd like to send you another seat. What color is your bike?" So I told her, well, I have a Priority 600X, and it's dark gray. However, it has an orange frame bag, which I'm always going to keep. So if you were to send me another seat, orange would be nice. So that's what she was getting at. They have a line of custom-made seats that you can get in any color you want. So here it is. It's a rather nice looking seat, and it's almost the color of my frame bag, but I can't wait to try this out. It's the same as the EX1 as far as this hammock material. The same on the back with a plastic, and you can see the hole here in the middle with the hammock material over it. Beautiful seat. What struck me first about this was the workmanship. I mean, it's absolutely incredible. The stitching on here, and then when you turn it over on the back, how they've attached the material to the skeleton of the seat here is just incredible. So, Infinity custom seats, who are they for, really? Well, they're not for everyone, I would say, because they are quite expensive, but they're quite nice. Let's say you're building your dream bike and you're sparing no expense in all the components. It might be something you'd look at. If you have expendable cash laying around and you want the best, most comfortable seat you can find, and you want it to match your bike, that might be for you. But anyway, I'm very happy that they sent me this seat. Why are these seats so expensive? Well, it's the technology. All of the components are sourced in California. Dr. Vince has very strict quality control among his suppliers that make the components. So he inspects everything as it comes in, he and his trusted team. And on top of all that, I've got to tell you, his website is incredible. It's infinitybikeseat.com, and I'll leave a link down in the description below. But on his website, there is so much information, the science of the technology behind the design of this seat. And there are video after video, how to have a proper bike fit, how to position the seat on your bike, how to tilt it. Are you a time trial rider, or do you want it in the neutral position? Even if you're not going to buy an Infinity bike seat, there's more information on that website than you could shake a stick at. So if you're a cyclist and you're having trouble with your bike fit, This is one more tool, and that would be their website. The doctor even talks about nutrition. He talks about chamois, right? Do you wear a chamois when you ride your seat now? Now think about this. If you wear a standard chamois that is commercially available on all kinds of bikes, you look at the inside of that chamois, and there's usually some ridges on it a little bit. Now, if those ridges don't line up properly here, you're going to run into trouble. That's why it's recommended to fit this properly so that maybe you don't need a chamois anymore. But if you do, so he shows alternatives to standard chamois, and you might want to check that out. I found it very interesting myself. So anyway, now that I've shown you the seat, I'm going to install it on my Priority 600X, and we're going to go for a ride. I can't wait to see how it feels. So today is a really good day. I'm driving along. I've got my Priority 600X on the back of Jan's car with my Infinity custom bike seat, and I'm going to go for a ride. Won't be all that long, and it's going to be on flat ground since I'm still recuperating from my broken hip. It's been a little over 80 days, but still got some soreness. But anyway, I'm not using a walker, I'm not using a cane, and I'm a happy guy. I'm going to go for a half hour and see how the seat does and see how my body does. So I'm all set. Got my helmet on, got my biking shoes on, and I'm ready to ride. Check out this seat. I think it matches quite nicely. Time to get out on the bike and move. Oh, it feels good to be out in the fresh air again, riding my bike. I love it. I'm not filming much, but I've been out for a little over a half hour, and I have to say that this seat is wonderful. I'm not wearing a chamois today, and no discomfort, no pain, no pressure points, no nothing. This is a perfect design as far as I can tell. I think I'll do about 15 more minutes on this seat, and then I'm gonna head home. Didn't bring my Garmin with me today because I know I wasn't gonna go out for a long ride, and I know where I'm going. Well, I've got a little further than I probably should have, but I'm gonna head back to the car now. I'm gonna turn around here and put the bike back on the rack and get home. By the way, not only is this seat wonderful, but that carbon front fork that I put on is really nice. It's not a rough ride. It absorbs the bumps. All I can say is good things about it. Well, that's the end of my short ride today. I get to say I love that seat, and it felt really good to finally get out on the road. So here's my whiskey carbon fork that I put on to replace a standard fork that came with a bike. I really like that fork. It makes the bike feel a little bit lighter. It feels a little nimble, which is a big difference from that Wren inverted fork that came with the bike. I know it wouldn't serve me well on single track or anything like that, but hey, I don't do those kind of rides. Anyway, thanks again for watching, and as always, happy pedaling.